Hello, my name is Thomas, and I live in Portland, Oregon, and I really want to talk with you about marriage equality for lesbian and gay people in Oregon. I've been thinking a lot about what creates social change and the journey of social change over many, many years, and reflected back on the idea that in the early days of our country, slaves and African Americans were denied the opportunity to marry. I saw in materials from the early 1900s that if you were Irish, you were excluded from jobs. And the ads that I saw from that time in the New York Times that always ended with INNI, Irish need not apply. And I look at the times that we came through with the civil rights in the 60s. And even it wasn't until the late 60s here in Oregon that people of mixed race were allowed to marry. I was active in the conversations at the state legislature in the last session around creating domestic partnership. And even with Basic Rights Oregon, I advocated against taking the stand on domestic partnership. I believe that if I am a citizen, if I am paying taxes, I deserve the rights of every other citizen in the state of Oregon. So let me tell you my personal story. I have thought a lot about marriage versus domestic partnership. And my partner and I decided that domestic partnership did not fulfill the pledge, commitment, and promise that we wished to make to each other. I was born and raised in Dubuque, Iowa, and at a time when in Iowa I experienced a great deal of, I guess I would say, discrimination because of being a gay man and growing up in that community. For me, it was very important to go back to Dubuque, Iowa with my partner and participate in a marriage. We did that. And what I want you to know is that going back to Dubuque, participating in a marriage, and even having an opportunity to speak with clergy who gave us a great deal of spiritual support during that time makes a difference. We have our marriage certificate framed where we see it. And as we have looked at difficult times as well as happy times, I will just say it makes all the difference in the world. Before going to Dubuque for our marriage, we had been together for nearly 18 years. And yet, that one act made a big difference. So, I'm asking a couple of things from you. I want you to reflect for a few minutes on just what is right and equitable. So why should I have to pay, as I did, more than $10,000 just to get the legal documents in place to provide protections to my partner and me in Oregon so that we could be available to each other at the hardest times in life? Why should I pay Social Security taxes to support other people's spouses when my spouse will not have access to that if I were to die? And so it's a start, but I ask you to sign the pledge that's adjacent to this website, advocating for marriage equality in the state of Oregon. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart and appeal to your social justice for this effort.